What's up, guys? It's Scroo from TwinstiqLP, and this is Hob. This was just released today, and I'm gonna give a little disclosure here. I actually did the audio track for this while I was playing the game. This is my first bit of playtime, and the audio recording came out just awful. It's a lot of like really high gain input. Somehow that keeps changing somewhat automatically. I don't know if it's something to do with Windows. Whatever, doesn't matter. So instead of having a nice blind playthrough for the first impression, we're going to get this. And the object here is that that golem has just woke up. I'm assuming this guy is Hob, guy, girl, whatever, seems to be genderless. And we have to follow it. So here we go. Control is very smooth. It's quite smooth, actually, and I really like the way the foliage moves around the character. Real easy to jump and roll. I'm using a controller here. This is the Xbox One controller. So anyway, I decided that the idea was to follow the golem that woke us up, but I want to explore a bit, so I did that some. I think I'm about to do that now. Just kind of move around, because these games are very cool in those terms of just, you know, hiding little secrets and things to see. Anyway, so this is Hob. This is an action-adventure game by a company called Runic Games. They did Torchlight and Torchlight 2. They are also, at least a lot of them. I'm not sure about if this still stands for sure. I should probably do some research on it, I guess. But these are the original Blizzard North team. Guys from way back in Diablo and Diablo 2. So I couldn't interact with that big flower thing there, but I can later. And at this point in the game, the Steam overlay and stuff still didn't work, so I was trying to take screenshots here. I couldn't do that. Now I can. I've now been able to do that, so I'll be able to make an image for this video, thank goodness, because I was worried that wasn't going to be something that there was support for. Game runs incredibly smooth. I did have an issue when I first started it up. It wanted to only run at 1600 by 900 resolution, and only at high settings. It wouldn't go to ultra for some reason. I don't know why that was, but I quit and I restarted, and it went up to 1080, which is the best resolution my monitor can do. 1920 by 1080, and it went up to ultra, and it plays at a really constant 60 FPS. I don't know for sure if that holds up in this video, because I started watching some of the video and the audio is bad, so I just decided to re-record audio. But I don't know if I was recording at a very high rate, so there might be some stuttering, what looks like stuttering in the video, but it never actually stuttered. Anyway, more exploration here. Just enjoying the way that grass moves around the character. I think it's really cool. It's very common, I think, now for that to happen, but just it's a nice detail. Alright, here we are. There's the golem. Okay, I guess I decided to move on a bit. Keep exploring. Really like Runic's art direction. They've pretty much stuck with the same thing now for... This is the third game that I've seen them produce, and there may be more. I don't know for sure. At least not while I'm talking about this. Okay, the golem's telling us to go over here. It turns out that these are actually checkpoints. I kept trying to think that he was trying to tell me to go in there, like a step on a button or something, but so if you die, you'll respawn at one of those. The closest one that you've activated. World Traversal, very easy. There's not a whole lot. This is an action-adventure platformer. As far as jumping goes, the character itself will actually help you a lot in terms of getting around, and I think mostly because it's a console-based game, so they give some leeway. Like he'll grab onto edges by himself and that kind of stuff. I think I was still trying to take a screenshot back there, so I stopped for a moment. This stuff right here, as it turns out, is very bad. Don't touch this stuff. That hurt me. You can see I have a little health bar at the top there. I just took one of the bars off of that. Yeah, still a little bit enamored by the grass. Just so smooth looking. I like it. Oh, that little blue thing back there, I think that must be a grapple point. While I was talking about the grass on the wall back there just a few seconds ago. I didn't want to risk going in there. I already got hurt once. There are all these neat little things around that look like interaction points that you can't do anything with right away. I'm probably going to have a cut here pretty soon because at some point here I just kept dropping off the wrong place and backtracking. It seems like it starts right about here, but if it cuts, that's the reason. It's just to cut out the backtracking. This looked like something I could jump onto. And apparently I couldn't at the time. That has since changed, and I'm not sure why it's changed. So yeah, no dialogue in this. No dialogue, no map, no manual. Oh, here is backtracking again. Okay, here we are back. I finally decided to stop jumping off of edges, and yeah, good. Thought that a couple of times now watching this. I did it innumerable times, like 4 or 5 times. That is not innumerable. Might be a slight exaggeration, but here we go. We're back to following the golem. It felt like a lot of times. I like how the game demonstrates what you're going to be able to do a little bit here and there. Gives you the opportunity to explore at your own pace. I hung out here for a minute because that looked like a door. The golem's design is actually really cool. At some point, you'll see the plant life, and right around his chest area is a flower that constantly blooms open and close like a heart beating. It's such a cool animation to sort of anthropomorphize him. Make it feel like a living thing. And there's your tutorial on how to platform. It's a really cool, nice, easy, chill way to go about it. My first thought about these guys was, hey, this is where all the big monsters or the big animal life went from No Man's Sky. They just came here. And that's your introduction. It's a really nice flowing, good feeling way to start the game. It's really cool. It may not seem like it actually. From the outside, it may not really put you on the edge of your seat, but when you're playing it, you've already kind of got a little bit of feeling for these two. And as this progresses, you'll definitely pick up a little more. Like right there, how the golem gave you his arm. Now the game calls it a glove, but Golem clearly pulled off his arm and replaced your arm with his arm. Its arm. I keep saying he. I don't know. Even the load screens are really short. You can just see by the way that one flipped by. And there's that door that I was hanging out by for a moment. And now we can interact with this block, I found out. I started noticing the, what you call it, the pop-up for the button there. That's not what I'm trying to find. The word I'm trying to find is not there. Prompt. The prompt is what I was trying to find. That's the word. And again, it's kind of moving around because apparently this is sort of, I don't know if Metroidvania is really the right term, but I guess it kind of is, because, you know, stuff that you might not have been able to have access to before, you might have access to now. a very nice soundtrack. Alright, so after backtracking a bit, I realized that you still don't have access to anything. You're still in your kind of learning stage, so I just decided to go ahead and follow the golem a bit more. And then there was another interactive block. Again, just more exploration of the area before we get where we're going. And here was the golem again. And at this point, I started to get sort of nostalgic for Legend of Zelda, because you pick up a sword, and there's an old, whatever it is that your character is called. I don't know what it is. You talk about being able to build a world. Anyway, there's a dead one. An old one. And just before I move on, but now you need to help Golem because he only has one arm. Right, so you get a little more of a bond between you and it. And yeah, so here's the forge area. I don't really know what this is yet still. I haven't really figured it out. I don't know. It looks like it might be outfits or save slots. Manual save slots, perhaps. But I couldn't choose any one of those, so I'm assuming it's probably just going to be outfits. And then this is abilities that you can buy for the arm. But not yet because I didn't have any currency. But we did just get pieces for a sword, and that's a forge up there. Go. Alright, so then definitely I felt like Zelda now, because now you can cut down trees and grass in a very Link-like fashion. And so I just kind of went on this little trip of you know, attacking grass viciously and and trees and whatever things I could do. But I started to remember as well that there was that kind of cactus flower, and so I backtracked to it. But not before I got this currency. Notice that that was probably a grappling point up above there, that blue area. And I went around for a while, you know, sort of confused, not remembering or not knowing really what to do. Alright, so this is when I was sort of backtracking to the cactus flower. Just kind of going up the stairs trying to remember where it was, and it turned out right here. And with the sword, you can open it up and feel even more like you're in a Zelda game, because that is a heart. Got me a piece of life gauge. And then I still really wasn't sure what to do. I kept trying to take screenshots here because it just wasn't working. So I decided to go ahead and just try the sword out on a bunch of stuff. But yeah, that's about it so far. This is what I've done, and at some point in this video I died and just ended the video because I jumped off an edge. But this seems to be a really intriguing game, and I realize that probably watching this from an outside standpoint, it doesn't seem that great. But when you're playing it, you really feel pretty immersed, and I don't think that it's so much an immersion game, but it's very intriguing to move around in this world, and the progress comes at you pretty quickly from the start. I don't know that it will necessarily stay that way, but I get the feeling that there's a lot that's going to happen, probably some real bitter sadness that's going to take place. It just has that sort of atmosphere. But anyway, guys, I think I'm just going to go ahead and end this video here, because, as I said, nothing else really happens except I jump off a ledge. And, you know what, thank you for watching, and hopefully this wasn't too boring. It was probably much more exciting during my original startup time, and playing it blind, and doing a sort of reactionary audio, but yeah, it was not in the cards. So anyway, yeah, hopefully I'll have more of these up, and I'll try to do more live audio, because this was one of those games that does not matter, doesn't bother it. And anyway, yeah, guys, thank you very much for watching. I've been Scroo from TwinstiqLP. As always, have a great one.